Makani. My name is Cindy Scarberry, and we are here for lesson 4 of our Zimbabwe Shona language and music game lessons. If you have not watched the prior 3, that's okay. You can still be part of this lesson, but you may want to go back and look at those again to see what you may have missed and to help you learn some of those in a little bit more detail. Today, with it being our last one, we're going to review some of the language from lesson 3. We're going to learn some new language today. We're going to do some warm-ups with a new game and play some instruments or body percussion to help us learn this game. We're going to review some of the games and songs that we've learned before, and then we're going to learn one of my favorite games we learned in Zimbabwe called Dunhu. Now this game is really not a music game. It's more of a PE game or an outside game, but I thought we had to include it because it's so much fun. So that one will be there, and then we will say goodbye. But that's our agenda for today, and I want to get started with just remembering how important relationships are in the Shona culture. And so with that, when someone says good morning to you, it really is special to them, and they really like it when you expand on that a little bit. So if someone says mangwanani, then you could just say mangwanani and keep going. But you could also ask them, are you strong? Makasimba? And they might answer back, ehe, yes. Or if they ask you, makasimba, are you strong? You could say, ehe, ndakasimba, yes, I am strong. Or if you want to really show extra respect to someone older, or maybe it's a teacher, or maybe it's your principal, or somebody that you really want to honor and show a lot of respect, then you, instead of saying nda, I, then you would add the ta, which makes it more plural. So it'd be ehe, takasimba. Okay, so those are the things that we learned in the last lesson. Today, we can take that a little bit further, and instead of just answering yes, you might say to a man, yes, uncle, or yes, grandfather. In English, to us, you would say, now why would you call someone uncle if they're really not your uncle? Well, in the Shona culture, uncle is a sign of respect, or grandfather is an older person that you want to show a lot of respect. Those relationships are really important in the Shona culture. So you might have sekuru. Everybody say se-ku-ru, sekuru. And that could mean uncle or grandfather, like if there really is your grandfather or uncle, or you could say that, call someone sekuru, just because they are a man that you really respect and you want to honor. Okay, so we might say, ehe, yes, sekuru. Ehe, sekuru. Yes, uncle. Very good. If you want to call someone your brother, and you feel like they are, if they're actually your brother, or someone has pretended or has been like a big brother to you, or again, a guy that you want to show respect, but maybe they're not as old as someone that you would call an uncle, and you want to call it more kind of like your brother, then you would say mukoma, mukoma, mukoma. So let's try saying, yes, brother. Ehe, mukoma. Now you can also have, if somebody is more your same age, then another term of respect is calling them like a brother-in-law. And you might say, tsano. Now remember, when we say the word pizza, that TSA sound, tsa, that's all together. Tsa, no, tsano. So you might say, yes, or ehe, tsano. Ehe, tsano. Good. So those are different words and different titles that you can call males, men, boys, fathers, any of those, you can choose which one you think is the most appropriate. But what about the women in our life or the girls that are in our life? Then you might say for someone that you want to show respect for, like an aunt instead of the uncle, you would say te, 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 te. Yes, aunt might be ehe, te, te. Very good. A mother-in-law, and in this culture, that is a thing that we respect very much. And sometimes in the American culture, people will make fun of the relationship between a person and their mother-in-law. They may say, oh, a mother-in-law, like they're not very close. Most of the time, that's not true in our culture either. But we have a lot of jokes about that in our culture. But in the Shona culture, a mother-in-law is a very big sign of respect. And so you would say, bu, ya. Ambuya. And that you would say, if you wanted to say yes ambuya, then you would say ehe ambuya. Good. Or a mother is a, ma, I, a mai for mother. Okay, so that gives you some things that you can add to our conversation as you're practicing saying some of these Shona words. I hope you'll have fun with that. One of the ones that we had to learn very early is I kept making mistakes when I was trying to learn the language, or I'm very clumsy. And so if I would accidentally trip or run into someone, I needed to know what to say excuse me, I apologize, oh, I'm sorry, help me. So I learned excuse me was pa, mu, so, ro, I. Now that sounds like it'd be really long and hard to say, but when you put it together, remember how that I kind of got lost and is more of a lift? So is this you, and it becomes more like pom sorry, pom sorry. It kind of even sounds like I'm sorry. Pom sorry, pom sorry. So excuse me, pom sorry. And then another word that we used a lot when we were in Zimbabwe, as we were meeting new friends, they became our shamwaris. So you can say sha, moi, ri. Shamwari, shamwari. So if I really bump into someone, I might say, Pomsori Shamwari. Good. So see if you can fit those things into your conversations as we go through. Now, before we do this next game, let's stretch and warm up, because this is one that we'll be running around with quite a bit. So stretch up tall, stretch one way, stretch the other way. Stretch your arms back, forward, rolling them. Shake out one side, shake out the other side. Shake it a leg, shake out the other leg, shake it all around. Very good. Last time we also did some vocal warm-ups. We started low and we went high. Let's try that again this time, but this time follow my hands. And if my hands go in a different pattern, see if your voice can match it. Let's try it down low. Ooh. Good. Let's start in the middle. We're going to go up and come down. Ready? Ooh. Good. Try some of those in different ways and starting on different notes, and see if you can go higher and you can go lower, but not louder. If you're going higher, you want to do it real light and airy. If it's too loud, you might notice the veins in the side of your neck start poking out. And we don't want that. You want that to be easy. If you feel a lot of pressure right here and you look in the mirror and these veins are coming out, whew, then we need to lighten up. Check your posture, add a little bit more air here, and try it again. So let's try it one more time. Ooh. all the way down. Very good warm-up. This game that we're going to play today is about the rabbit and also the dog. It's called Tsuro Nembwa. Tsu, that's kind of very close to that tsa sound that we were learning with, like sounds like our pizza, the tsa, the TSA, but now it's TSU. So we have the tsu, ro, tsuro, ne, then we put the MBW, mbwa, mbwa. We do the mb and the wa all together, mbwa. It's kind of a bwa. Good job. All right, this is a really fun word too. This is ja, mu, tsa, na, mutsana, mu, tsa, na, mutsana. So it's ja, mutsana, mutsana. Try that together. Ja, mutsana, mutsana. Good. Then we're going to say the rabbit and the dog. Tsuro nembwa. Tsuro nembwa. Ja, mutsana, mutsana. Tsuro nembwa. Now, if you look at mutsana, and what does that translate? It's talking about line, chasing. The dog is chasing the cat. And a variation of this song, I believe the word is muchiri, which is talking about the big termite mounds. And if you haven't seen those before, Google termite mounds in Africa, and you're going to see some of those. You know, when we think about termites, it's that pesky thing that we heard we had in the side of the house, and we had to get that fixed before we could sell it or move into a new house. We don't really think about what they look like out in nature because we don't see that very much in Oklahoma. But in Africa and different places and different areas, those termites, they create their homes and they keep building and they keep building, and some of those are up this big. And so this game was created talking about the dog chasing the cat, or not the cat, the dog chasing the rabbit all the way around those muchiri, those termite mounds. And that's what this game, how this game is played. Also, in this game, remember we talked about it's not really always about competing and there being a winner. In this game, the game is not over until the dog is successful in catching the rabbit. And we'll think about why is that important and talk about that more as you learn the rules and you see it demonstrated by some of our Granville students. Have fun. I want you to become one of those termite mounds right now. Hands up. Good. All right, so these are the termite mounds. Now in this song, Tsuro Nemwa, Tsuro is the rabbit. Nemwa is the dog. And they are chasing, the dog is chasing the rabbit in and out of the termite mounds. All right, so for example, you be the termite mounds. If I'm the rabbit, then I'm going to go in and out and the dog would chase me, but it would look like this. Ja mutsana mutsana, tsuro nemwa. Ja mutsana mutsana, tsuro nemwa. So you see how I can just go in and out of the different ones? All right, so I need someone to be the tsuro, the rabbit, and someone to be the nembwa, the dog. Do what? We should, since y'all did the last one. Okay. Kelsey, could you come be a termite mound? You're gonna put your hands up like this. All right, do you want to be the rabbit or do you want to be the dog? I should probably tell you, in this game, the dog always catches the rabbit. So it's up to you. Do you want to be chased or do you want to be the chaser?
Chase.
You want to be chased?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are the rabbit. You get to decide which way you go, and then the dog, me, I'm gonna come after you. Are you ready? Ja mutsana mutsana pseudonemwa. Za mutsana mutsana pseudonemwa. Za mutsana mutsana pseudonemwa. Ja mutsana mutsana pseudonemwa. Ja! Good job, nice. Right, Tabasa. Very good. So why do you think in the Shona culture, why do you think the dog should always catch the rabbit? Because our culture, we'd be like, oh, the rabbit's fast, so it's gonna win.
The dog is bigger?
Dog might be bigger.
Dog might be smarter.
Might be smarter.
Faster.
Huh?
Might be faster.
Maybe faster. But what can the rabbit be instead of just running? What could the rabbit be a source of?
Intelligence.
Okay, yeah, a lot of times in our culture, the stories of Brer Rabbit and stories of the rabbit is tricky and smart. But has anybody ever heard of eating rabbit and it being a meat? Not so much in our culture, but in their culture, in the Shona culture, that's a source of food. And so they're teaching this game and it's fun, but it's also a way that if they teach their dog to get it and to hunt the rabbit, then they can eat. And all the village can come together and share the different sources of food. Somebody might bring chicken, somebody might have a goat, somebody might have rabbits. And that can be the dinner that they eat. So that's why in this game, in the Shona culture, it's not really about who is trickiest or who's the strongest like Guru Ndiani. This one is about let's play and have fun, but also teach that we need to hunt and have food and combine our resources.
Okay.
All right, good job. That was a quick demonstration of how to play pseudonemwa, but let's make sure that you really have it in your head so that when you're not here and you're outside and you're ready to play it, that song is inside and you've really got it going. So let's look again at that melody. Remember, we've learned a lot about question answer phrases in music. And in this song, it does the same thing. We have ja mutsana mutsana pseudonemwa. It kind of stays right there. That's the question. And then, ja mutsana mutsana pseudonemwa. It goes really low in that answer. And this ja, it's not a Z sound like we hear. It's kind of the SH in our language, but more of a ja. It kind of sounds like there's a J in there a little bit. Ja mutsana mutsana. All right, so to help really get that in our head, let's get one of your instruments. I have a talking drum, and the cool thing about the talking drum is that you can make it sound higher or lower by just squeezing the edges. So here's it just regular, but if I put it under my arm and I squeeze it, that pitch gets higher. And if I loosen it, it gets lower. Think about why that might be. What's the science there? Why does it get higher, a higher pitch, and why does it get lower when I loosen it? What's happening to the head of that drum when I squeeze these strings? Oh yeah, it does look like the head of that drum is getting really tight. And then when I loosen it, that animal skin is getting more loose and the tone is getting lower. That's also the same if I play in the middle of a drum. It's got a little bit more area to relax. But on the edge of the drum, that skin is really tight. So explore with that with your instruments, either ones that you've made, or when you get something, can you make that top part tight and expand? Or if you're playing with a rubber band, you can do the same thing. Stretch the rubber band and pluck it and see what it sounds like. Then make it looser and pluck it and see what happens to the pitch. You might be able to find melody there. That's why it's called a talking drum. Did you hear the melody of our song? Kinda. Jamutana mutana, pseudo nembwa. Jamutana mutana, pseudo nembwa. Play around with that when you're doing that too. But this first time, let's remember the beat is like that underlying heartbeat, that underlying pulse. Let's sing the song with just your beat. You can do body percussion like we've practiced, or you can get one of your instruments, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Here's our beat. 1, 2, ready, sing. Jamutana mutana, pseudo nembwa. Jamutana mutana, pseudo nembwa. Very good. This time, let's talk about the rhythm. And for this rhythm, we could come up with accompaniment with lots of cool different sounds and notes, but I'd like for us to use the syllables to make our rhythm. So it would be ja mutsana mutsana, pseudo nembwa. Ja mutsana mutsana, pseudo nembwa. If you're thinking about syllables, another way to check them is how many times does your chin come down? Ja mutsana mutsana, pseudo nembwa. Ja mutsana mutsana, pseudo nembwa. That's how many times we're going to play it. Let's try it with the syllables, with your instrument or on your body. Ja mutsana mutsana, pseudo nembwa. Ja mutsana mutsana, pseudo nembwa. I think you've got it. Very good job. All right, so I think it's time for us to just kind of take a quick memory lane down, looking at the games that we've learned. In our first lesson, we learned the directions, different ways we're going to go. Remember, imberi means forward, shere is backwards, kurujigi is to the right, kubosque is to the left. So let's play that game, sing that song one more time, just for fun. 1, 2, ready, go. Imberi shere, imberi shere. Kurujigi, kubosque, imberi shere. Kurujigi, kubosque, imberi shere. Did you find an X on your floor? I just realized I could be doing it on these tiles. And going forward to the green, back to the yellow, to the right to the blue, to the left to the red. So let's try it one more time, wherever you want to put your X. 1, 2, ready, and imberi shere, imberi shere. Kurujigi, kubosque, imberi shere. Kurujigi, kubosque, imberi shere. Fun, good job. Then we did our hello song. And you may be thinking, why are we going back over these? We've already learned these. It's really important to remember and to go back and layer it in so that you can have that in your memory and be able to do it with other people too, and you can help them. So on Nyatsangane, Navo Vaenzi, let's all come together as friends. Let me get the words for you. Okay. Let's review our welcome song. Remember, we want to all come together and be friends. And if we want to do the movements, we're walking in place. Then when we get to the Tive Muri Imwe, let's all come together. We keep our hands up high. Then we get to Tiregere Kutsauka. We're going to not be separated. We bring our hands back together and down. All right, so if this is our tempo, Nga is going to be our starting note. 1, 2, ready, and Nga sangane navo vaenzi. Nga sangane tive muri imwe. Nya Jesu nya manemweya. Tiregere kutsauka. Let's try that this time, but let's keep our hands up even longer. Once all together. 1, 2, ready, and Nyatsangane navo vaenzi. Nyatsangane tive muri imwe. Na Jesu nyamane mweya tiregere kutsauka. Thank you for learning these songs, learning about this great culture from Zimbabwe. The Shona people have a beautiful language and a beautiful culture based on relationships. And I think we all could use that a little bit right now. Then we learned some fun clapping games. Remember, we're going to do down, out, clap, 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 down, out, clap, 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 down, out, clap, clap, clap. Then we go to the down, out, clap, down, out, clap, down, out, clap. And you try to see if you can poke my ribs before I poke yours at the end, just for fun. Or if you don't want to do that, if you're very sensitive and you're like, oh, no, 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 I don't want to do that, then you might just strike a pose that's fun, that you want to strike your pose in. So let's have it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and Amina, Amina Kadeya, Simoreya, Amina Wan Shamsa, Pio Box, Malandela, Malandela, Gumpepe, 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 Amina Jujiksin. Good. Is it all coming back to you? Getting a little easier now that we've done it so many times? This one is our goodbye song. And remember last time we added a little bit more movement and we could make that kind of the U in our placement of our feet and of our body. And I'll go ahead and play our song on the drum as well. Va, 1, 2, ready, and Vaskana Vaka Taura Ande, Ande Tava Quenda, Asiba Sata Sieta Pezza, Tava Quenda. Tava Quenda, Tava Quenda, Asiba Sata Sieta Pezza. Are you still moving with me? Left, right, left, right, left. Good. Vakamana, here we go. Vakamana Vaka Taura Ande, Ande Tava Quenda, Asiba Sata Sieta Pezza, Tava Quenda, Tava Quenda, Tava Quenda, Asiba Sata Sieta Pezza, Tose Taka, Taura, Ande, Ande Tava Quenda, Asiba Sata Sieta Pezza, Tava Quenda, Tava Quenda, Tava Quenda, Asiba Sata Sieta Pezza. That's a great goodbye song, but don't go anywhere because we're not done yet. That was what we learned from lesson 3. Oh, no, lesson 2. Lesson 3 we came along and you learned Zinyamaredu, Jekawa Cheka, Zinyamaredu, Jekawa Cheka. Remember, this is the one where we want to give somebody a really hard time. Who are you going to choose at your house or in your class to be the one that we're going to mess with and give them a hard time and try to confuse them? Who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the one to close their eyes and try to choose? We're going to give you 2 guesses. 2 guesses. Or if you want to really be easy on them, you can give them 3 guesses and keep singing the song until they figure it out. Or if by the 3rd guess they still don't know, then stop the song and say, okay, would the real person go to the middle? And they get to be the next person in the middle. Then I usually also let whoever was the last one in the middle, let them choose who's going to be the next leader, and you can keep it going if you have a group of people. All right, let's try it. Zinyama, we'll start it right there, ready, and Zinyamaredu, Jekawa Cheka, Zinyamaredu, Jekawa Cheka, Zinyamaredu, Jekawa Cheka, Zinyamaredu, Jekawa Cheka. Yay! I hope you have fun Maitabasa with that one. Do you remember the phrase that we learned early on when I said, is everybody happy? Munufara heremose? Oh, some of you are like, oh, it's so close. I think I remember. It started Indini ku fara. Indini ku fara. I am happy. So if I say Munufara heremose, is everybody happy? Your answer is Indini ku fara. I am happy. Are you ready? Here we go. Munufara heremose. Woo! Maitabasa, good work. All right, the last one that we're going to do and to review is our Who is the Strongest Rooster? And then I get to teach you the new game. That is so much fun. So here is Guru Niani Jongwe, Guru Niani Jongwe, Guru Niani. The question? Guru Niani. The answer. Guru Niani Jongwe, Guru Niani Jongwe. Now remember, in that game, you need to have your hand behind your back. Choose which foot you're going to jump on. But remember, this is the only part that can touch anybody else. You're not spearing with your head. You're not hitting with your wing, with your elbow, or trying to jar into them with the shoulder. It's just this edge might slightly nudge to the side if you are trying to outmaneuver your opponent on Guru Ndiani. So that is a game where there really is a winner. This game, there can be a winner, but it's not really expected. Now, what do you mean by that, Miss Cindy? Well, I mean the task is so complicated for this person that very rarely are they able to complete it. And it's not really considered a big deal if they don't. It's just how close can you get? How far can you get? And it's just for fun. And so if you're looking at this is called Dunhu. And Dunhu it's kind of like dodgeball, but a little bit different in that you've got one person here, one person over here, and they are on the same team. A and B, they're on the same team. And it kind of looks like set up, if you're playing keep away, you'd have somebody in the middle. But in this game, we're not trying to keep the ball away from them. You're trying to hit them with the ball. Now, if you are this C, if you're this person in the middle, there are a couple of variations. Now, we've used that word a lot in these lessons, and we really haven't talked a lot about what that means. Variation means it's very close to the same, but just a little bit different. So you can still tell it's the same song or the same game, but maybe just a little bit of the rules or a little bit of what you're doing has changed. You can still tell it's the same game. In a song, if it's a variation of a song of a melody, you can still hear the original melody in your head, but ooh, they added just a little embellishment or added something different. So in this game, the variations will talk about different things. The first way that I was taught was this person in the middle is in sand. This is fun to play if you have like a volleyball outdoor place and there's lots of sand, or sometimes people have a sandbox that's big enough for somebody to be in. So that would be what you would be playing with like this. And you'll see in just a little bit, our kids, how they're gonna play it outside in a couple of different ways. But this person is supposed to scoop up the sand and fill the bottle. Now, we played it with a glass bottle, like the Cokes or the Fantas or the different pop in that kind of bottle. Today, they're using an iced tea bottle that has kind of a long neck that you can put sand into. And so your goal is to fill that bottle full of sand. Fill it all the way to the top. When it gets full, guess what you have to do? Then you have to get all that sand out of it. And that may sound easy, but when you have this bottleneck, it's kind of hard. You've got to tap it, you've got to shake it, you've tried to get it out on the ground back to it. Then, so you fill it up, you empty it out, then you have to tap the ground 10 times. 1, 2. So that seems pretty easy. Why, Miss Cindy, is that hard? You're just filling the bottle with sand, you're emptying it, and then you're tapping the ground 10 times. Why would that be considered hard? Well, at the same time you're trying to do all of that, our A and B players are trying to hit you or knock over your bottle with their ball. So you've got to be really watching. So you might fill it up and then dodge out of the way. And you might fill it up and then have to move. And you don't ever have to start over. Wherever you are, you can continue to fill it, move, come back and continue to fill it, move, empty it out, move. You might have to be dodging while you're tapping. Even if you're in the middle of tapping to 10 and you only get 1, 2, 3 done, don't worry. You can dodge and then come back and start right at 4. You don't have to start over at 1. And we'll let them show you how to do that. There is also variations with cups that we'll show you in just a minute in the video. And then also the way that we did a variation in Zimbabwe is they didn't have cups, they had just bricks. They had some bricks, free bricks out there, and you would stack the bricks just like we're stacking cups, and then take them down and then tap the floor or the ground 10 times. So enjoy this game called Dunhu, and they'll show you a few different ways, and then you might just create your own variation with the things that you have at home. What could you stack, or what task would this person in the middle have to complete before they tap the ground 10 times? Have fun with this Zimbabwe game called Dunhu. All right, so this is Dunhu. This is that dodgeball game I was telling you about. And so I'm going to let you start with the ball. And when you throw it, you're trying to hit him. You are trying to avoid being hit. Don't just stand there and take it. You want to move around and try to get away from it. It's your responsibility to go after the ball after she throws it. But you can't throw it at him till you go back to your spot and then throw it. When he throws it, you've got to retrieve it, come back to your spot, and try to throw it again. Okay? Now, your job, which is quite challenging, is to fill the bottle full of sand.
Okay.
Once it's filled to the top, then you have to dump it back out. Okay. After all the sand is out of it, then you have to tap the ground 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, but if you're dodging and you only get 1, 2, 3, you can still move around and come back. You don't have to start over. You can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever you can get out till you get all 10. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Now, since we're social distanced like this, if it's too hot with the mask, you can take it off. It's up to you. If you feel better with it, you can keep it. All right, are you ready?
Can you hit the bottom?
Yes, you can. If you think that would, yeah, you can try to knock it over and then you have to keep trying. Yeah. Ready? Go. Good job. Woo, keep going. Oh, good job. All right, so that's it. So look, that's all he got done was that much. Oh. Ready? Take 2 steps back. Let's make it challenging for y'all. There you go. There you go. Move the dot back there. Okay. Ooh, still haven't done it. Do you want to try?
You want to try? Let me try it.
Okay.
Fine, sir.
It is very hard, and that was what I was telling you about. In their culture, in the Shona culture, it's not about who wins. It's not like, oh, you're a loser. It's about trying to get the task done. It's very challenging, and most of the time people don't get that done, but it can. So let's try it again.
Ready? Go.
There you go. Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. Good job. Keep filling, keep filling, keep filling. Good, keep filling. You can scoop it if you need. Good job. Keep filling, keep filling.
I wasn't trying.
Woo!
No.
Use both hands, both hands. Yeah, you're doing good, you're doing good. Yeah.
No.
Woo, that was close.
A bit too close. Oh.
Okay, let's pretend that it's all the way full. Now empty it out.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Woo! Good job. Now there is a variation on this game. Let's do the variation real quick. So a variation on this game, if you don't have sand, and that one gets too hard for you, what you can do is have the cups in the middle. And what you have to do is you have to get the cups stacked. Woo, which is kind of hard on this grass. Get the cups stacked. And they have to stand. Once they stand and without you holding them, then you have to stack the cups back. Then you do the ground 10 times. Okay?
Okay.
Y'all want to try that one?
Okay. You want to try? No.
Good. She's tricky. Oh, good job. All right. Anybody else want to try? All right. This is a variation of Dunhu with the cups.
Ready? No. No. Stop that.
She got the cups. So close. There you go. Almost. Oh yeah, you got them. Now stack them all up. 10 times.
4, 5, 6. No. 7, 8, 9, 10.
Woo! Good job, my tabasa. Whew, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tired. That was hot outside playing Dunhu. We hope you had fun with that. It is now time for us to come to an end. Everybody has worked hard and we have completed our work. Tose taka taura. But it is now time for us to go. I want to say one more word to you. I want to say thank you to Tenda. We have been talking about my tabasa, which means good work. But to just sincerely say thank you, we would say Tenda. Tenda, thank you for being part of this. My tabasa, you have done great work. And tonana, which means goodbye. Tose taka taura ande tava asibasa tasia tapeza tava kwenda asibasa tasia tapeza tonana tatenda.